And welcome in everybody to the Skol Wolves podcast, the place to talk about Minnesota's top two teams, the Vikings and the Timberwolves. In this episode, I'm continuing the series where I evaluate every player on the Wolves. In this episode, we evaluate Jaden Mcdaniels. Now, let's get into it. So, just to start things out, Jaden McDaniels kind of got off to a rocky start in his sophomore season, and it looked like he was kind of having a sophomore slump kind of season, but he kind of turned it around in the second half. He found his groove as the season progressed. He started throwing things around. He fought through his initial efficiency struggles and really turned it around and turned into a player that is one of the most promising young players in the league, honestly, because he's got all the tools to grow. Like he's got the long wingspan, the height, the he has the capability of taking his opponent off the dribble. He can shoot. He looks like he could be a great player. It just kind of last year we saw his confidence wasn't struggling. It was kind of struggling, and then this year he was just not the best to start off the season. But so kind of just getting to his positives. Jaden's biggest thing is his defense. He kind of turned into one of the best defenders on the team, and with his length and speed, that's kind of what you want from a guy like that. And kind of like now in this new starting rotation as the fifth scorer, you want him to be a lockdown defender, and we're hoping he can be that. So the one thing, the downside with his defense though is he does foul a lot, and that was never more present than the beginning of the year when he was struggling. He just could not stay out of foul trouble, and it got to the point where Coach Finch had to take him out of the starting lineup and put Vando in, which turned out to be a good move because Vando proved to be a very good starting power forward. But Jaden, and like his fouls went down when he came off the bench, obviously because he was playing less minutes. But that first stretch, he was just fouling out. It seemed like every single game, where he had 5 fouls and he had to sit on the bench forever. And that's young players. That's youth right there. He's just turned 21, I think. He's either 21 or 20. He's definitely 21. But he just needs to improve, and I'm sure he'll do that in his third season because he's gained a lot of experience and he knows how to not foul when playing defense while still playing good defense. So hopefully his foul percentage kind of goes down this year. So, kind of talked about his physical assets, what makes him so good at defense. His long arms make him a great on-ball defender, but also able to block shots. Now, he is very skinny and not very strong, which hopefully he'll be able to add some muscle this offseason. But, that's a young player not being super, like, we have all seen Giannis in his rookie year. He was a stick, and now he's Giannis, the Greek freak. So, we're hoping he could put some muscle on, but it's not the worst thing if he doesn't, because he wasn't like picked on for his lack of strength last year, because he was mostly playing the three, and not many threes are gonna body a 6'10" guard, because he can just put his arms up and block it. So kind of now switching gears to his offensive game. Jaden, this year it's kind of a difficult year for Jaden to improve because he's the fifth guy, like he's basically the fifth scorer in the starting lineup. Now I'm sure all we're asking for him from offense is to be able to knock down open threes and cut when the opportunity's there and have dunks in the lane and occasionally take his defender off the dribble, like maybe twice a game, go one-on-one, because he has that ability whenever he needs it, whenever you need him to just get a bucket. He proved at times last year that he could do that. He showed flashes where, like his mid-range game, I loved last year. He really worked on it in the offseason, you could tell, because he was looking for his mid-range shot. And his rookie year was basically just dunks and open threes, but last year he was taking this guy off his dribble, and you could tell the coaches were pushing him to search for his own shot, and I love that. in the coaching staff that they are trying to get him comfortable, because that's one thing from his first year is that he had basically no confidence, and he definitely had a lot more confidence in the second year. So he only shot 36% on threes this year, which I mean isn't terrible. It's not the best, but like you you it wouldn't hurt to have a 40% plus 3-point shooter in the starting lineup, which is a lot to ask for. That's incredibly difficult, but that's the one thing that he could make a difference on the offense for the starting lineup. Um, so even though the shooting numbers improved as the season progressed, I'm just I want to think that it's progression, that he was progressing throughout the season, not just making up for his terrible performances in the beginning of the season. But yeah, that's Jaden isn't the most interesting player this year. I mean, I think he could have a breakout year. It's kind of hard for him to do that playing like the fifth fiddle. But I think for him to break out, it would be his defense ability. And I think he could, because he's got all the tools there. I'm really excited to see how he improves his defensive game this year. And yeah, that about does it. Thank you all so much for listening and watching. And next, I'll be reviewing Carl Anthony Towns. That'll come out soon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Peace out.